Welcome back to the second half of Newsbreak Live, and joining me tonight is Executive Director Ghislaine Davis from the South Bay Village. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, you're very welcome. I'm happy to be here.
And Ghislaine, you do such a great job at the South Bay Village in Torrance, and you have some exciting news, right? Recently, you purchased a new office space. Tell me about that.
Correct. Yes, we are in the Pyramid Building on Hawthorne Boulevard between the Auto Club and World Market. And it's very exciting because we needed the space.
And tell me the story behind it. Why did you move? Where were you before?
Okay. Sure. We were, and luckily for us, the help office in downtown Torrance gave us a desk to use because once we started, we got busy right away. And then we got so busy that we needed more than just a desk. So luckily, I guess you can say luck, but it just happened to come our way. The Pyramid Building, my husband went to look at the space and he said, "You've got to come down tomorrow to look at it." So I said, "Oh, we've been looking for over a year." I said, "It's not going to work out like all the others didn't work out," but it did. And our landlord is very supportive of South Bay Village. He really gave us some benefits for moving in there. And on top of that, he signed up his mother for South Bay Village.
That's awesome. Tell me, how does it feel to now have your separate space where volunteers and members can actually come and ask questions?
I was speaking to Jesse Wright, who's the landlord for us in the Pyramid Building, and I said, "You know, I have a feeling that once we get our own space, we're going to really grow." And sure enough, as soon as we did, I think people got the impression once we did have our own space that we're a real company. You're not just in someone else's office. And the phones started ringing like crazy, more so than before, and it's happening very, very rapidly right now.
For the viewers watching at home, I know more than 100 people came to the grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony, which I think goes to show that people truly do believe in the South Bay Village concept. What is this concept? How did it start? And why did you want to open this concept here in the heart of Torrance?
Well, South Bay Village is our own independent village. I was at a commission meeting, Commission on Aging, with the City of Torrance, and one of our speakers came in, and it's Carol Kitabashi, who is with the Westchester Village. And I sat there and I said, "This is it." My husband and I are both retired, but I just, it's one of those light bulb moments. I said, "This has got to happen in the South Bay. We need to help the seniors." And there are 200 villages across the nation. And so, then we became one of the villages. And the premise is to help seniors stay in their own homes with the help of volunteers, which is an awesome concept because I've read statistics that staying at home will keep you healthier and happier.
What are the services you offer, and how does the concept work? It's membership, but you are a nonprofit organization.
Yes, we are.
So,
I'm sorry.
no, excuse me. Go ahead.
We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and we're totally a volunteer organization, from myself to the volunteers who do the services. Our volunteers do a variety of things, and when we first started, the first request was for transportation to doctor's appointments. Now I constantly tell a new member that when they ask me, "Do you do this, do you do that?" I say, "Sure, we can do that," because they all have different needs and they all have requests of what they would like to see happening for them and different places that they want to go. But we also have friendly visits, we have friendly calls, we have 4 handymen on staff now that fix minor things in the home, which is really important when you get older because you can't be on a ladder changing light bulbs and you can't be changing furnace filters and smoke alarms, etc. We have volunteers who do light gardening. We take our members for walks. We take them to visit their friends for lunch. It's just incredible.
And tell me, how many seniors have you helped, and currently and in the past, and how many volunteers are signed up for this program?
We have over 60 volunteers. We have 40 members, and our numbers are in the 40s because Our average age is 84 years of age, which is unusual for a village. Usually there are younger people who join, but it changes constantly. And I'm adding 4 new members this week.
That's so
And
exciting.
yes, and 3 new volunteers called, and I think it's because of the ribbon cutting and the exposure we got for that.
How important is this service for seniors? And what is the population that we're talking about? Is it someone who's 65 years old and older, or what's the minimum age that you can help somebody out?
In their 60s is a minimum age,
Okay.
and it goes. I mean, we have a member who's 95 years old,
Oh, wow.
and she walks better than I do. so it's very fascinating. But you know, as you get older, you shouldn't be driving. So that's one of the big things that we do. So and seniors in California, and I don't know about the rest of the nation, but in California are very active as long as they can be helped with things like, you know, doctor's appointments, driving them there, etc. Because as you get older, your body doesn't function as well as when you're 20. And so we do all these things, and I think part of the trick to it is our volunteers speak from the heart. They, you know, they don't say things like, "Oh, you can't walk correctly." You know, we don't do that. And our volunteers are the heart of South Bay Village. You know, like I said at the ribbon cutting, I planted the seed, I watered it, and I fertilized it, but the volunteers are making it grow.
Tell me about how these services have helped your members. I know you've mentioned that during this time, you know, a lot of people are living on their own, they face isolation. You're really bringing a smile to a lot of people.
Yes, yes, we do. And, you know, I think I mentioned to you before that one of our members, when we first started, was, you know, very grumpy, and she said, "I just want to go to the grocery store." She said, "I don't get out, and I just want to go to the grocery store." And about 3 months in, I had to call her and said, "You know, I don't have a female volunteer," because she had requested female volunteers. And she said, "Okay." So one of my volunteers, Vince, went to see her, and within 20 minutes after he left, he went grocery shopping with her. How many men would do grocery shopping with a little old lady? You know, it's just awesome. She called me and she said, "I love Vince. I mean, this is what I breathe and live for, is to have seniors say, 'Thank you so much for helping me.'" But you know, it comes back around. The volunteers tell me constantly, "I'm so glad that you did this, because it makes me feel good about what I'm doing and helping," because we all need to pay it forward. And if you haven't figured that out, then you will as you get older.
How can people become members, and tell me about the volunteers?
Okay, my philosophy on volunteers is I don't dictate to the volunteers how often they should volunteer. I don't say you have to do it twice a week, twice every 2 weeks, whatever. I tell them volunteer when you want to volunteer. And the way our system is set up, that was set up by my husband, he wrote the database for South Bay Village. You'll get an email that says all of the assignments that are coming up, and for your particular thing, like if you're doing a friendly visit, you'll get only the friendly visit assignments. And you just say, "Okay, I'll take that one." And so you're doing what you want to do with the person that you would like to do it with. And the members are asking me constantly, you know, "Can I have the same person, or is someone else coming?" I can feel it when I speak to members, how it's changing their lives, and they tell me all the time. I get notes all the time, and it's not a reflection on me. It's the fact that we started this, and it's helping people.
And if people are interested, how can they become members? There is an annual fee, and we'll get into that right now, if you can tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, the reason we have an annual fee, and all the villages do, most of them do, and I kept ours low because I wanted this to be something that we're doing because we want to help. And the members can call us at our 424 number, 271-2304, and call us and ask about, you know, do I cover their area, etc. And what the membership fee goes to is I do a background check on all the volunteers, because I don't want to send someone in someone's home without checking them out. I do a Department of Justice fingerprinting, I do a DMV check, bonding, and we also have liability insurance, that California is the highest state as far as liability insurance. And that's what our membership fees go to, besides running the office and also printing and all the things that you need to do in order to run a company.
How much are the fees yearly? And just to put into perspective for people,
The fees are, if you want to join for 6 months, it's $250 for 6 months,
Okay.
$500 a year. But let me tell you, I have checked services that drive people around, and I'm not talking Uber and those kind of agencies, but specific drivers, and they charge $20 an hour.
Right.
So if you go to the doctor, you're talking a 3-hour appointment because they're sitting there in their car while
Right.
you're going to the doctor.
And in the scope of things, a gym membership can be $30, $40 a month anyway, so it's great for the amount of services that are offered, but they're not unlimited, right? You did mention to me there is a limit per month?
Yes.
How does that work?
There are 4 to 6 services a month, and that seems to work very well for the majority of seniors that we are involved with. And as we get more volunteers, we can add more services.
You know, you mentioned a great statistic to me that 10,000 people turning 65 years old or older every day.
Every day.
And that is your mission, right?
It is.
To help these people as they age.
Yes, and that's going to go on till 2030. So, and you can see the impact already because the baby boomers are getting into their older age. And, like I mentioned to you, none of us can avoid it. We are all going to get older, so we need to pay attention to what's going on in the senior world. There's so many issues that I am so ready to tackle, like doctor's appointments, doctors who say to a senior person, "You're doing fine, I'll see you in 3 months." What is that? That doesn't help the senior at all doing things. They always say to me, "Well, I asked him about this, but he just kind of," those kind of things that we need to address as a society.
Right.
And also, we have assisted living, and Torrance has got those wonderful places of assisted living and 6-packs where seniors can live in 6 people in a home. But we can't fill all of these homes. They're going to be full. We need to find another solution. The other solution is to stay at home, and when you get to the point where you need medical help, then you can have caregivers come into your home. And if staying home, talk to any senior. They'll say, "I would rather stay at home."
South Bay Village is such an amazing service, and I think the great part is it's not just an isolated organization. You're really partnering with other organizations in the community. What are some of those organizations?
We have partnered with Torrance Memorial, Providence Hospital, the YMCA. Meals on Wheels is a very close partner of ours, and I've just started. I am going to partner with as many organizations as I can, and I want corporations to have South Bay Village presented to their members because, like I said, they're all getting older and they all have older parents. So we need to pay attention to what's going on.
What do you hope for? I mean, obviously donations
Right.
are probably great from the community, and you just mentioned corporations. What are donations used for, and what do you hope for the future of the South Bay Village with this new great office space and increasing number of members?
You mentioned the donations. Right now, we've been in existence for 2 years, and donations aren't pouring in. And I'm hoping that corporations will donate to South Bay Village because one of the things that donations go to is a free membership to a senior who cannot afford the fees that we have.
Oh, that's great.
And, does that look great for a corporation? You bet. If I'm IBM and I say to my employees, let's donate to South Bay Village, and they're going to give someone a free membership, you can't get better than that. And they look good to the community, too.
Ghislaine, you've talked so much about the South Bay Village and everything that it does for seniors. What do you hope for in the future? Is there a goal? Do you hope to serve? I mean, because this is the only type of concept that exists in the South Bay, really.
Right. Well, my husband kind of cringes when I answer that question. I would like to start other villages and have them be like an extension of South Bay Village so that they can be self-sufficient too. But I'd like to get the ball rolling for that. And like I said, I have a lot of senior issues that I want to tackle, like macular degeneration. I want the public to know that this is not something that we used to do. We used to hide these things, like dementia. Dementia is a big, big issue. But if, knowledge is key. If you know, then you're a lot more better prepared to handle it if you have knowledge about it. So I have lots of things that I want to do, but currently I want to grow South Bay Village, get more partners, and make people aware that we need to have villages that help seniors stay in their own homes.
And currently you're open Monday, Wednesday, Friday, hopefully more days in the future.
Well, as a matter of fact, when I told you that, I have 2 new volunteers who are going to man the office the rest of the week, so we're very excited, very excited.
Well, Ghislaine, thank you so much. You're very special, and thank you for all that you do here in the community.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. If people need more information about the South Bay Village, you can call them at 424-271-2305. You can also visit their new office space at 22939 on Hawthorne Blvd, Suite 106. And their number again is 424-271-2304. Well, thank you so much for joining me on Newsbreak Live. City Council is back on the dais tonight. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. And for Facebook and Twitter users, use #NewsbreakLive. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.